what you want, when you want it, where you want it. This is The Mesh.
I'm with the band. Music and interviews you're going to like. Today on I'm with the band, we got local beat boy and drumming guru, Rick Cline. Hey, this is Chad Austin, and today on The Mesh, we have Rick Cline. Say hello Rick.
Good to be here.
It's good to have you here, Rick. Rick has been a staple in the music community for a long, long time, and I have been a fan of Rick's for a long time. I think what he does is phenomenal. He's a fantastic drummer and has played with some of the better musicians in town.
Well,
you owe me for that.
I'm flattered. And I've been blessed to get to play with a lot of great people, as a sideman, and it's fun, but it's a living,
Right. Well, let's take it back to the beginning, where you got your start. So I don't know this, so I'm actually pulling you for information.
Okay. Well, in the beginning, I started out on my dad's knee as he played drums. So that was basically how it all got started. But I then went on to college to get 2 degrees in music, and went on to teach lessons. Found that was my calling, and invested all of myself into Hickory. Hickory being growing and full of talent everywhere you turn. This is where I wanted to invest that. And I started a percussion program, the Piedmont Percussion Program, which has grown up to 75 kids are now in that program.
How long has that been around?
That's been around for, I think we're going on 15 years, 16, somewhere around there. And but that's one of several things that I've gotten started here in town that has been very successful, I'm proud to say.
Now you're also into the steel drums?
Yeah, under that umbrella of the percussion program, there are 3 steel drum groups, 1 adult community group, which is the newest group called Steel Groovin', Steel Steel, and another group called Pandemic. That's the high school kids. That's playing around town all the time now.
Right, I'm familiar.
And then one group that was sort of born out of that program is called Pan-Jive, which is my more pro group. We do African drumming for at-risk teens and things like that.
What's different from Western style drumming and African drumming?
Western being United States, Western,
yes,
like Western European. Well, that's a good question. that's a might be longer answer than we have time for. African drumming is much more connected to nature and religion. So a lot of their instruments, we could get into some witchcraft there.
Oh, wow.
So they actually think that the instruments come to life when they play them. Now we here enjoy music in a whole other way.
Right.
But the influences are significant, to our development of our instruments and our development of rhythm and modern pop music. So
I was always curious about that because I'm a Dave Matthews fan, and he's from Africa. And
South Africa.
That's
right.
right. So I was always curious when they talk about his influences, what sounds different. I know he plays a little differently, but he's anyway. We'll leave that alone.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's talk about some of your bands that you have that are rock bands.
Well, I'm in a couple different groups. One being a dance group called Baby Black. I also started the Hickory Jazz Orchestra, which is a big band that does our annual Swingin' Under the Stars, which will be here in Hickory on the last Sunday of this month, and that's an outdoor swing dance. But that is an 18-piece big band, and it's a very high quality group for a small town like Hickory. So we're really proud of we do the Jazz on Tap at the Tap Room. That's been going on for.
I'm really glad that you do that. I know I haven't been able to participate in that, but I am a closet jazz enthusiast.
Well, we're celebrating 12 years running now. Every Sunday night at Jazz on Tap at the old Hickory Tap Room. It's been featured on PBS a couple times.
Wow.
And so that's something for Hickory to be really proud of. That brings jazz aficionados from all over, as well as world-renowned jazz musicians have passed through here, and that's just probably the most fun gig that I do, most rewarding. So.
Right. Now, you've also been in some other acts over the years, one of which, like Defunct Brotherhood.
Oh, gosh. That's a name from the past.
Yeah, I know it. That was a lot of fun to watch you guys. That was a neat band. And a lot of the listeners who are not familiar with that band, it was a very eclectic band, to say the very least.
Yeah.
It was
animated was the word.
Yes.
The word I would say.
Yeah, it was a kind of a takeoff from Parliament and George Clinton.
Yeah, well, yeah. I think the audiences came out to see that band to see what was going to happen next.
I know.
And what my singer, Funk Face, was going to wear next, and how much of it he was going to wear.
That's right. old Kevin. Yeah. So. Is there any other acts that you're doing besides that? I mean, because not that that's not enough.
As far as acts, I mean, as far as things I do, I teach at Lenoir-Rhyne University and UNC Charlotte University, and I teach privately at the Music Center, and that's where I'm investing most of myself here lately is in education, and. These other things I do, performing and stuff, that fulfills a very large part of me. However, I try to be a good example to my students too, that performing is a necessary part of the total package. Using the tools that you've been given, and I hope to get into talking about that soon. So.
Well, I hope people who aren't familiar with Rick Cline, and hopefully there's not many in this area, realize the quality of work that you do. I mean, it's not just somebody who's been playing the drums for a little bit and decided to go out and start trying to do outreach programs. I mean, you're here because you're good at what you do. I mean, and you gonna feel like all mushy and stuff.
I'm gonna cry.
Yeah, it's great. Hug? Do you want a hug? Feel all warm and fuzzy? Well, you've brought some music today, and why don't you give us an intro into what this music is, and we'll take a listen.
Well, I guess before I do that, I should tell you that this music is from an event that Tony El Torre and I put on annually. It's called the Student Concerts, for lack of a better name, and it's through the Hickory Music Factory. Now, the Hickory Music Factory has been an idea that's been tossed around between Tony El Torre and myself for several years, but it has recently been unveiled, I guess you could say, in the past year or so. The Hickory Music Factory does all sorts of things, all types of programs, outreach programs, lessons. The main slogan is building futures through music. And we can tie that into everything that the Hickory Music Factory does. This thing that you're about to hear is just one of many. The student concerts is a way for students to prepare a song from the beginning, with the end being a performance. And the performance happens to be with some professional musicians that we bring in from Charlotte. And it's just an incredible thing. I think we had about nearly 80 kids perform on it, students from all over the Hickory area.
Where do you put the performance on at?
We did it this past year at the main city cellar, and before that we've done it all over Hickory before, at the Lenoir-Rhyne, and then the Science Center and places like that. But it's grown, and it's just an incredible thing. And we're going to hear from some students here shortly and let them give their perspective of that whole process.
Oh, that'll be good.
So,
well, let's take a listen.
Stormy ground, there's no room. Space in this town, I don't know. Stuck in mud. Over our imagination, love is now. Reason that you had to care, so I get land. In return for grace, it's a beautiful thing. Let it get away. It's a beautiful thing.
We'll get back to your show in a moment. Just a reminder, you're listening to The Mesh, an online media network of shows and programs ranging from business to arts, sports to entertainment, music to community. All programs are available on the website as well as through iTunes and YouTube. Find out more at themesh.tv and give us feedback on what you like.
And we're back. That was the 2012 Student Concert Series put on by the Hickory Music Factory. And we have an extra person in now. It's Tony El Toro.
Hello.
How you doing, Tony?
Good. How you doing?
Good. And Rick is still here with us. Say hello, Rick.
hello, Rick.
All right. And now everybody heard me blowing smoke up Rick a minute ago, but it was true. I believe it. And I'm also glad that Tony's here because I know what a phenomenal guitar player he is. There was a band that he was in that I'd heard about Tony, but had never really seen you play until I saw the Scott Jeffries Band one time. Mm-hmm. And was blown away. Fantastic group, top-notch musicians. So I'm glad that you're a part of this program with Rick. That means to the people who are listening, what kind of quality musicians are putting this together?
Oh, I'm supposed to answer right there? So.
No, I just want you to feel good about yourself.
Well, I appreciate that. Thanks.
You're welcome.
Very nice.
So why don't you guys tell us a little bit about the Hickory Music Factory, a little bit more detailed than what we got into a minute ago.
Well, like Rick said, this has been an idea we've been putting together for years now. A lot of the programs he started, a lot of the programs I started, we just kind of started weaving them together. And it was a great way to get kids to start being connected with each other and to start building futures, and giving them opportunities that they didn't have. I'm not from Hickory.
Where are you from?
I grew up in Richmond, Virginia. But I've been down in the area for about 12 years, 13 years. And like Rick, I decided to stay here because it was kind of a lot of untapped talent and a lot of things that we both felt that we could make an impact here in this area. And so a lot of things we do were a combination of ideas we've been doing before. And the Hickory Music Factory basically organizes the local and regional music community as a whole, whether it be students or whether it be artists like ourselves.
Right.
We like to think of it as kind of like the community theater for music. We put on shows also. We bring in national artists to come put on concerts. We put on clinics. We just recently had this past week Michelangelo Batillo.
How was that?
It was amazing.
I had a family reunion I had to attend to. It's the first Sunday.
Phenomenal. I mean, he's like the staple in the shredding world of guitars.
Right.
And super nice guy. He hung out, signed autographs, and it was a great clinic.
I have a text from my other guitar player who was there, and the only thing it said was, "I quit playing."
Yeah, you kind of felt like, wow, I haven't even scratched the surface of playing guitar.
Was he really playing the two-handed guitar?
Oh yeah, man.
He's ambidextrous, right? Because he can play left-handed, right-handed.
Yeah, he was. It was just ridiculous.
Oh, I don't like him. I don't like him anymore.
Well, even if it's not your style,
right?
You could appreciate, and his main message was just finish it. And it's kind of what me and Rick teach all the time: start something and finish it.
Right.
See it all the way through. So, but basically, the Hickory Music Factory is a combination of all those things.
Right.
So,
Well, I hate that I missed that. I was jealous everybody got to go but me.
That's right. Well, we figured your answer would be, well, there was the big golf game was on.
Oh no, that's the other guitar player. That's why it was amazing that he was even there because he's a like amateur pro.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But I wanted to go, but my dad heads up the reunion, so I have to show my family support.
Good excuse.
It's true. Okay. Well, what else are you guys working on for the future of the Hickory Music Factory?
Right now we're getting ready to start up. We'll do this is our 5th season of the rock camp.
Mm-hmm.
And we got started. We got a grant from the Arts Council.
Congratulations.
A few years ago that helped us start this, and it's been a huge success.
Congratulations for then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they're great. They help. We've started so many projects through them. We can't say enough nice things about them and what they do. But the camp basically, we have about 30 kids that participate, and they get to form their own rock groups. Throughout the week, they learn all the essentials of how to rehearse, picking songs, writing songs, and at the end of the week, they get to put on a concert, for all their friends and family. So
Oh, that's cool.
And Tony and I basically monitor their progress. And we give them ideas when they need it, but and we go around putting out fires basically, but mainly the whole experience is the process from beginning to end, and it's just a incredible. It's just watching the whole thing take shape, and it's just awesome watching these relationships form, and some of these groups stay together.
That's what I want to ask you. That
They do. They stay together, and they have an opportunity to perform at Oktoberfest if they stay together and continue rehearsing.
Oh, good.
And a lot of those bands are still together now from years ago.
Wow.
They're in
So-
college, and they're still putting it. It's funny because I got a email from one of the kids that was in the first one, and their band is still together, and he's in Durham now, and he's putting together this little tour, and he's asking me what should I ask these club owners now?
Yeah.
So it's kind of neat how you pass it on and watch.
Right. That's got to be a good feeling too.
Well, it is, and I think that's it's the least that I could do for all that's been given to me. So just passing it on.
Well, I hope that people can appreciate the effort that you guys are putting into this, because I taught guitar for 7 years, and putting the syllabus together, getting the structure down was not my calling whatsoever, and I was not very organized. All my students actually became very good friends of mine because that hour slot that was supposed to be allotted for them, I wound up going to 3 hours, just because we'd talk and whatever, and that was just. I realized it wasn't my calling.
We need to work on your business model.
Yeah.
Exactly. Well, now as far as you're right. But I do have an appreciation for what you guys are doing, and especially to the degree that you guys have taken it.
Well, we appreciate that, and I mean that's when you asked us to come on. We really wanted to talk about the kids because we hear it all the time. People kind of appreciate what we do. But it's really not about us. It's about kind of helping Hickory integrate new talent into the area.
That's great.
Yeah, Tony and I both have seen our students go on to do a lot of big things. I have students who've gone on to get their doctoral degrees and teach in major universities, and some of them are touring in Nashville. Hey,
You're old.
well, I think I hit I've been teaching 23 years now, so I've seen a lot of my students.
I mean, you knew that's old. You knew Moses.
But just to see them going on to, and they don't necessarily have to be professionals, but it's just fulfilling a big part of their life and their development overall. So,
and it's nice to keep some of the. It's good to be competitive, but it's also nice to be able to teach the positive message to people and instill it into their minds now. Because when I was growing up in this area, the musicians were not united in any way, shape, or form, and it's really sad. As a matter of fact, the band that I used to play in 20-some years ago, we're actually getting back together. You can radio edit this out if you want to. I don't care. We're getting back together to record. We're the only band that really talks to each other anymore as far as 20 years ago. And it's a shame because there's so many musicians around. And I'm sure a lot of these kids that are under your umbrella will still have that positive feel. They know all this big network. I think it's great. I think it's fantastic.
Well, that's just it. We're creating a network through all these concerts and rock camps and clinics and things like that. I mean, these kids are going to meet kids from all over the county, all over the Hickory area.
Well, let's take another listen to the student concert from 2012, and then bring some more guests in to talk to us.
1, 2, 3, 4, 6. Lights go down, it's dark, the jungle is so big. Your heart, I'm feeling so much wrong. Yeah, boy, and on the other side, and still I know your mind can wonder. Hello, oh, got a place out where to go. Never did I wish I didn't know you. Give me something that I can feel.
We've had a little bit of a musical chair experience here. I have some of the students and a student gone teacher from the program. Do I call it the Music Factory program on this, or do I call it what do I call it from?
It's the Hickory Music Factory.
The Hickory Music Factory. Okay, I wasn't sure. There's so many programs here. It's kind of hard for me to keep up with everything.
That's why we put it under one umbrella.
So we don't all get wet. Terrible. Okay, so here are some of the people that are here today. We have Catherine, who is 13.
Hi.
That was great, Catherine. Took great control of the mic on that one. We have Elle, who is 11.
Hi.
Hi. And we have Corey, who is 18
Yes.
and former student
Mm-hmm.
turned teacher.
Yep.
So you're picking up the torch and moving forward.
Yes.
And according to Tony, you do other work for the Music Factory as well, Hickory Music Factory.
Yeah. Yeah, I do some graphic design for him, some poster designs, and whatever he really needs. So.
And video.
Yeah, and video, some video.
What do you use to edit your video?
Most of the time I'll use Sony Vegas Pro.
And Photoshop?
And Photoshop, yeah.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Elle, do you have Photoshop?
No.
You should get Photoshop. Ask Mom and Dad for Photoshop. I'll ask them for you. Please get Elle Photoshop. Catherine, you can have Sony Vegas. That way you can edit video. So why don't Catherine and Elle tell me what you do for the program?
We perform and we play with real bands.
So what did you play?
I played Beautiful Day by U2,
What instrument did you play?
the drums.
The drums. Catherine?
I played the drums and I played Vertigo by U2. And it was really cool because we got to play with a real professional band.
Excellent. How do you think that you did?
Pretty good from the feedbacks that I got and stuff. And I just think it was just awesome to experience something like that.
So how many people did you play in front of?
A whole room full. Just a lot of people.
And you rehearsed for like a week?
Months.
Months and months.
Yes.
And were you guys friends beforehand?
No.
No.
But you're friends now,
Yes.
Yeah.
and that's because of the program.
Correct.
Excellent. What's your favorite movie? You're not old enough to see many, so there's only a few to choose from.
I have a lot of favorite movies, so I don't know if I can't pick from one.
How about you?
Same for me. I have a lot of favorite.
What about bands? Usually you have one big favorite. Who's yours, Elle?
Toby Mac.
Really?
Toby Mac, same for me.
What about you, Corey?
I listen to a lot of people, so I don't really have like a specific favorite that I always go to listen to.
If I went into your car and looked, and if you, what kind of music player do you have? Do you have an MP3 player or is it CD?
I don't even have an iPod. Yeah. So I just.
And you call yourself a music fan.
Well, I play more music than listen.
Oh, hey, that put me in my place. That's good. Excellent. Have you recorded any?
Yeah, I record some. I have my own little home recording studio, just basic stuff.
Oh, really? What do you use?
Yeah. Well, I use Apple's GarageBand.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna probably get Pro Tools or Logic sometime. But
Logic
I mean,
is cool.
GarageBand's great for what it is. I mean, it's so.
I've had a lot of interesting talks about the difference between Pro Tools and Logic. Logic is more for songwriters, and it's good software.
Yeah, it is.
Expensive, but it's good.
Yeah.
Now, what do you play?
I play guitar.
Oh, good for you.
Yeah.
So when you participated in this program, what were some of the songs that you did?
When I did one of the student concerts, I did Crazy Train, and I think I did the first rock camp. Yeah, first year rock camp.
And did you say you have a band now too?
No, I do mainly like solo stuff, just like singer songwriter. So.
Well, as a guitar player, who's one of your influences? You're gonna say Randy Rhoads, right?
Well, yeah, he definitely. And
Ozzy Osbourne's guitar player, for those who don't know who that is. First guitar player.
yeah, I used to listen to a lot of Dream Theater, so John Petrucci.
Oh, wow.
I like John Mayer, his style, Stevie Ray Vaughan, just basically all the legends, I guess.
Right. So, when you guys are not involved in the Hickory Music Factory, what are you doing?
Practice a lot and just play around with different songs and just try to learn,
Oh, good.
get better at it.
So, what do you want to be when you grow up?
I want to be one of my sisters, Anna, she plays the guitar, and we were thinking about having a band when we grow up and doing the Dookie Chicks.
Oh, that's cool.
Well, I want to play drums like my whole life, but I just want to be like, my dream is to be a veterinarian, but I
So
love
you
the
can-
drums too, so I'm not kind of.
Well, you could take your drumsticks to work and, if the animals are bad.
No, they don't deserve that kind of attention.
Yeah, good answer. So, what else would you guys like to talk about?
P3 and drums.
Well, tell me a little bit about P3.
P3, it's a program where you get to learn all different types of instruments and go different places on tours and go perform at different schools and have concerts and perform in front of a lot of people.
So, when you get to play different instruments, that means that you're pulled out of your element you're used to learn something completely new?
Yes, sort of.
So, what have you been exposed to?
I've played the triangle, the marimba, the bass drum, the timpani, and the blocks and the snare drum.
Wow. So, in other words, you play a lot more instruments than I do.
Well, we have different songs
Just go ahead and
that we
say
play
it.
too.
Just go ahead and say it. I play more instruments than you. Just put me in my place. Go ahead, do it. Say it.
You play more instruments than me.
No, you play more instruments than me.
I play more instruments than you.
There you go. What, are you nervous? Are you nervous? Don't be
Yes.
nervous. Take a good look at me. Okay, Catherine. So, are you playing other instruments as well?
I used to when I was in public school. I used to be, and when I was in 6th grade, I played in band. I played the snare, I think it's the really big xylophone, the marimba, I think, and the bass, and I think that's about it. But if I would have stayed in public school, I probably would have played a lot more. But I don't. Hopefully, maybe one year I'll be in P3 where I'll get to do more percussion instruments.
Excellent. Well, Corey, let's turn to you for a second.
Okay.
Let's talk about your transition going from student to teacher.
I'm still taking from Tony's, and I've been taking from
Tony's?
him.
There's two Tonys?
No, yeah, taking from both Tonys.
Good. I heard he was schizophrenic.
Yeah. No, I've been taking from Tony since I can't remember how long. Is it like
Forever. You came out of the wound playing
yeah,
guitar.
yeah? I came out of the one playing guitar and just moved on from then. So, and now recently I've been starting teaching, interning, and I'm really liking it. I'm learning a lot from it, and I think it's fun. And I'd like to do it as like a career. And
Oh, good for you.
yeah,
Well, that's a great example of how the Hickory Music Factory has brought everything around full circle.
I have a funny story that has happened since I've been in P3, and it is about, like, at school, I tap on everything because it's just, the way
Because that's
the
what
way-
fidgety drummers do.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes. And at school, I would tap on my desk and I wouldn't even realize it. And I would tap on my desk and tap beats that I've learned from the lessons in P3. And my teacher would say, and he would have to like call me like 3 times before I would get to realize that I'm actually playing out loud. And it was really funny because then I told my teacher this morning that I was going to be in an interview, and he said, "Good, tell them that I have to keep telling you that you have to stop playing."
Well, tell them we got the message.
I will.
You want to tap something now? Tap on the surface of the table. The mics will pick it up, won't they?
Okay. Okay.
Excellent. You go, Tapper. You want to take a turn? You're just sitting over there.
Well, I was just gonna talk about my performance. Well, what it is I did as good as I did because when I'm nervous, I feel like I'm gonna freeze. So I didn't freeze. I did better than I had, and I got up there and I was just taking deep breaths and I just toned all my nervousness into my playing. And I just started playing and I toned it in and I was just concentrating and it really helped me to tone it into my playing, and it helped me progress and get better at it, and it was actually better than I had.
Oh, good for you. I used to get terrible stage fright before going on. Really bad. I mean, like upset stomach, trembling. And even to this day, I have stage fright for the first 2 minutes of going on stage. First 2 minutes. And it never changes, it never goes away. But the funny thing is everything always works out. Always works. I'm sure that Tony and Rick will tell you the same thing. It doesn't matter if it's 100 people or 10,000. I'm glad you were able to get through your stage fright. It sounds like you had a better time than I did. I had to go to therapy and meet a doctor, and they had to paint me. They painted me different colors, and I would point to the colors, whenever I would try to feel better. Does that make any sense? Because I really just made that up. I want to thank you guys for coming in today.
Thanks for having us.
No, thank you for being here.
You're welcome.
That was Corey, Elle, Catherine, Tony in the background,
Hey.
Rick in the background, and we will see you real soon.
You've been listening to The Mesh, an online media network of shows and programs ranging from business to arts, sports to entertainment, music to community. All programs are available on the website as well as through iTunes and YouTube. Check us out online at themesh.tv. Discover other network shows and give us feedback on what you just heard.